Hey guys, I'm the sloth goth herself, Elora K, and today I'm going to do a storytime video. I have never once done a storytime video, but here is my best shot at doing one. And I'm going to cut like right to the chase and try to maintain eye contact with you guys because these eyelashes are so heavy. I just want to like close my eyes and go to sleep. So in 2019, Captain Marvel came out. I bought a Captain Marvel suit from a retailer online. That's another story for another day. And I got this suit, I think about like late March, early April, and I was able to wear it to Starfest in 2019. And then I was able to wear it to Denver Pop Culture Con in 2019, where I religiously volunteer with Cap for Kids, my team. And our deal with Cap for Kids is that we are cosplayers against pediatric cancer. We volunteer with Cap for Kids at Denver Pop Culture Con every single year and try to raise money for kids with pediatric cancer, and you can find their link in their bio because I'm a huge supporter. I'm not a board member, but I'm a veteran volunteer, as I like to say, because every time they need me, I'm here to answer the call, even though I currently live in northern Minnesota. I was able to volunteer with Cap for Kids again. They welcomed me back. Big surprise. Oh my goodness. Let's see if they invite me back for 2019 after my actions at the after party last year. At Denver Pop Culture Con, I was able to wear my Captain Marvel cosplay on Sunday, and that Sunday I was very hungover, very emotional from the night before, and I had tons and tons of kids and people wanting to take pictures of me. But every 4 feet I would walk and have like a parent ask me for a picture with their kid, and after taking a picture and like if the kid wanted like a hug or something, they'd walk away and they'd be like, okay, have a good convention, and I just immediately start crying. And it was like a hormonal imbalance, it was just exhaustion. It's a very emotional weekend as it is. It was so amazing. I remember my best friend Stacy turning to me and saying like, this is okay because you love this character so much and you're seeing kids who also love this character and you're just expressing like your appreciation for like the love that you all share for this character, and that just makes me want to cry more. The late evening, Stacy Carter throws me in an Uber. I had to catch a plane, so I like go back to the airport. I was flying back to the middle of nowhere in North Dakota, which is really cheap because it's in the middle of nowhere, but also I have to drive like 3 hours from where I live to get to this airport. But it's really affordable, so like I would pay, you know, $20 in gas to get there in order to just save $100 in flying time. So I get back to North Dakota to this teeny tiny airport very late at night. I have to work in the morning because I am too stupid to ask for the day after off, because I thought I've done this before. I can just, you know, get back up and go to my full-time day job again. When I knew full well I could not, because the last time I did that was at Starfest, and that was after like the whole drama that happened there, and I ended up crying like the whole day and a half after that, and I really could have used a day off. But you know what, this is Denver Comic Con and this is a fun convention that I'm volunteering at. I thought, no, I'll be good. So I have to make it like 3 hours to my day job before I have to be there at like 8:30 at the time. So I drove an hour and a half and I was so exhausted I opted to just spend like $50 and stay at a hotel. I took my big case that had like my clothes for the next day, my toiletries, whatever, and I left the case, my carry-on that had my Captain Marvel suit and my medication in it the day before. So I slept for like 5 hours, I got up, I put everything in my car, I checked out, and I pulled back into the parking lot of the hotel. And I realized like, oh my, I used to live in this town, by the way, that I stayed at. And I realized I have just like lost this carry-on. So I think like I must have brought it inside and like forgot to grab it or something. So I went inside and I asked the hotel staff member, like, can I get back into my room and see like if I left this carry-on there? And they let me back in. I think the hotel staff manager came out and was investigating the situation. And I said, it's this carry-on that I had is gone. It has like, first of all, I was like more concerned about my medication because at the time I was on a lot of medication. I was on like Xanax because of the job that I had at the time. And I told her, like, this is really important that I get it because, like, this is stuff I really depend on. And then also I said, I had to tell her that, like, yeah, I volunteer with this charity and I also have this very expensive costume in it as well. But in the long run, like, my medication was, like, more expensive than this costume. So inside this bag was a very high value item depending on, like, your insurance or whatever. It was June, so the hotel manager, I think she called the police for me, which is amazing because 2 months prior I had to call the police myself to file a assault charge, and this hotel manager called the police for me to file a robbery, which was like, oh, this is so nice that I can rely on this person to do this for me because it's their job. And then she walked the premises with me and tried to find, you know, my suitcase in, like, the bushes or the garbage or anything. We walked the entire hotel premises from, like, where I originally parked, and we couldn't find it. And, like, actually the garbage was taken out, like, that morning because it was a Monday morning. And yeah, I had to kind of come to terms, like, my carry-on with this Captain Marvel suit and my medication was completely gone. And I was really upset because medication can be replaced. I had to go 3 days without my medication, and those were, like, the 3 hardest days I ever had that spring. But they can be replaced. I had to go through my insurance and tell them, like, I filed a police report, here's the report number, here's everything, and they really were able to work with me. I had to come to terms with, like, this very expensive suit that I bought was gone as well. And not only is it something that I really wanted, but I also volunteer with, and a piece of me that was completely gone. And that, right now, like, as I tell you guys about this story, I feel, like, very childish, and I feel very, like, insecure because it's kind of like a piece of clothing. It's like a very expensive jacket, but I think literally 2 days before it was taken from me, I was giving kids hugs in it, and I was taking pictures in it, and I was crying in it because I felt so connected to these kids at a convention, and I felt so connected to this character that I was representing. And it really took a toll on me for a while. I think almost all summer I'd have nightmares of being stuff stolen from me, plus on top of the trauma that came after Starfest and having to fight. I'm glad that it wasn't something I, like, put my heart and soul into that costed, like, $300 or $1,000 or whatever that was stolen. But I was mad for so long, and immediately after, like, everything was said and done, I thought, okay, this person broke into my car. They saw that I had medication. They saw that I had Xanax. And they said, well, I'm gonna take this. But also, not only do I have this on my carry-on, I'm sure they saw that this faux leather material that's blue and red or whatever, they saw that in the bag too. And I live in northern Minnesota, and I'm sure they thought, well, this is either motorcycle riding pants or snowmobiling pants, and they thought it might be a value as well. So instead of just taking the medication, they took the whole bag because they thought that my costume was some sort of, like, riding gear or equipment for, like, motorcycle or snowmobile. So that's the story of my cosplay being stolen from me. And I'm sure people hear that and they're like, oh, that doesn't make sense. Like, why would someone steal your cosplay? Well, like, that's why, because they probably thought it was some sort of equipment that would be worth something. So throughout the summer, about a month or two up to whatever, I put out on Ko-Fi, kind of like an SOS, like I really wanted to get this replaced, especially because I got the opportunity to walk in the Pride Parade. I had tons of people come forward and donate like $1 or $50. It was crazy how many people came forward to try to like replace this costume for me, not only to volunteer in, but also just to have. And I think, I mean, like, my supporters just like paid for like half of it, and I'm entirely grateful. It makes me emotional just like thinking about it. Anyway, that is the story of my cosplay getting stolen. I really hope you guys got something from this. It's such an obscure thing to ever happen to someone, especially a cosplayer. So even if you haven't had like your cosplay stolen, like let me know about like the feeling of being burgled and like how that has actually affected you as well. Because it's very invasive and you're like, wow, I had something that really like was close to me and now it's just gone. It's in someone's possession or it's in the dumpster. Let me know in the comments down below because I'm really curious to hear you guys' thoughts, and let's bond over this. Have a good week. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.